I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. Before you move, before you answer, before you sign, before you open your mouth, before you take one more step in the direction that has been pulling on you with pressure, breathe and become still. Do not rush past this moment. Do not treat this pause as an inconvenience. There are times when I speak not through thunder, not through a loud command, not through the shaking of the earth beneath your feet, but through a quiet restraint in your spirit, a holy hesitation, a gentle warning that rises within you and says, wait, listen, do not move yet. My child, this is not meant to frighten you. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment, nor is it punishment. I am not standing before you to shame you for considering the step, and I am not coming near to accuse you for feeling uncertain. I am drawing near because I love you too much to let you walk blindly into what may cost you more than you understand right now. This emergency is not the sound of panic, it is the sound of mercy. It is my loving pause before a wrong step becomes a painful season, before a decision made under pressure becomes a road you never had to travel. Do you see? Not every urgent door is from me. Not every opportunity that opens quickly carries my peace. Not every voice that says now, now, now is carrying my wisdom. And not every delay is the enemy fighting against your future. Sometimes the delay you are rebuking is the very restraint I have placed between you and unnecessary sorrow. Sometimes the closed door you keep pushing against is not resistance to your blessing, but protection over your calling. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. A lamp does not show you everything at once, but it gives enough light to keep your next step from falling into darkness. You have felt it, have you not? You have felt pressed to decide, pressed to answer, pressed to leave, pressed to accept, pressed to return, pressed to confront, pressed to commit, pressed to prove that you are not afraid. Yet beneath all of that movement, something inside you has not been at peace. There is a tension you keep explaining away, a heaviness you keep dressing up as overthinking, a lack of rest you keep calling stress. My beloved, do not dismiss what I may be using to protect you. Pause, listen, let this warning touch the place in you that has been trying to move without peace. If this word is already reaching something in your spirit, like this video as an act of agreement, subscribe for more prayerful guidance, and write in the comments, Lord, stop me before I take the wrong step. Let those words become surrender before the message continues. For I do not stop you to take life from you. I stop you because I see what you cannot yet see, and I am guarding the future I have not finished unfolding. My child, the unease you keep dismissing is not always random. There are moments when I place a weight upon your spirit, not to burden you, but to awaken you. There are times when, after a conversation ends, your mouth has said yes, your face has smiled, your mind has begun arranging the details, yet deep within you there is a heaviness you cannot explain. There are times when an opportunity appears to be favorable, timely, profitable, attractive, even answer-like. And still your peace withdraws quietly, as if something holy inside you has stepped back. There are times when you are about to send the message, make the call, enter the agreement, reopen the door, return to the place, or trust the person again, and suddenly there is a pause. Not a loud voice, not a vision, not a storm, just a still resistance in your spirit, a sacred interruption that says, wait. Do not despise that pause. Do not call it weakness, simply because it slows you down. Do not call it fear, simply because it challenges what you want. I know how often you have tried to talk yourself out of what you were sensing. I know how often you have said, maybe I am just overthinking, maybe I am too sensitive, maybe I am afraid of change, maybe I am blocking my own blessing. And yes, there are times when fear speaks loudly, and fear must not become your master. But my beloved, there is also a restraint that comes from me, and if you keep labeling every holy warning as anxiety, you may silence the very guidance I sent to protect you. Do you see? Fear drives you into confusion, pressure, desperation, and restless imagining. Fear demands that you decide from panic. Fear makes every possible outcome look like danger. Fear pushes your heart into noise until you cannot hear wisdom clearly. But my restraint, even when it interrupts your desire, carries a different weight. It may sober you, but it does not torment you. It may slow you, but it does not scatter you. It may challenge what you planned, but beneath it there is clarity waiting to be received. My restraint does not scream, "You are abandoned." It whispers, "You are being guarded." It does not say, "There is no future." It says, "This may not be the road that carries your future." This is why I often speak softly. I do not always come with thunder, because I am teaching you discernment. I am teaching you to know my nearness in the quiet, to recognize my hand in the gentle correction, to hear my instruction before consequence becomes your teacher. If I only guided you by dramatic signs, you would wait for the earth to shake, while ignoring the lamp already burning at your feet. If I only stopped you by force, you would never learn the tenderness of obedience, the wisdom of pause, the peace of surrender before the damage begins. As it is written, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Psalm 32:8. My counsel is not distant. My eye is upon you. I see the path, the motive, the hidden cost, the unseen attachment, the future fruit, and the sorrow you do not yet know how to name. Do you see? You ignored the heaviness because the door looked attractive. You dismissed the lack of peace because the timing looked perfect. You pushed through the inner warning because the offer seemed profitable, because the relationship felt romantic, because the invitation looked convenient, because people around you called it a breakthrough, because you did not want to explain why your spirit could not say yes. But a door can shine and still not be assigned. A voice can flatter and still not be faithful. A path can look efficient and still lead you away from the quiet center where my peace keeps you aligned. My beloved, peace is not always the absence of difficulty, but it is the presence of my witness. There are hard steps I will call you to take that still carry a deep settledness beneath the trembling. There are obedient choices that may make your flesh uncomfortable, yet your spirit knows, this is right, this is clean, this is the way. And there are easy steps that please your emotions for a moment, yet trouble your soul because something in them is not pure, not wise, not assigned, not covered by my peace. Learn the difference. Remain long enough to listen. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. A lamp does not reveal the whole journey at once. It reveals the next step. It shows you where your foot is about to land. So when I give you unease, when I withdraw peace, when I cause your spirit to pause before a decision, do not demand every detail before you obey. Sometimes the warning is enough. Sometimes the lack of peace is enough. Sometimes the quiet no within you is my mercy speaking, before your life becomes entangled in what I never asked you to carry. My child, understand this clearly. Urgency can sound like opportunity while leading you out of alignment. There are doors that open with pressure attached to them. There are invitations that come wrapped in deadlines, emotional demands, persuasive voices, and the fear that if you do not act now, everything will be lost. There are people who will make you feel that hesitation is failure, that discernment is delay, that asking for wisdom means you lack faith. But I do not measure your obedience by how quickly you can be pressured into motion. I look at whether your step remains surrendered, whether your heart remains clean, whether your conscience remains awake, whether peace is still bearing witness within you. Do you see? Not every now is from me. Not every sudden opening is my instruction. I can move suddenly. I can turn a situation in a moment. I can open what no one can shut and make a way where there was no visible way. As it is written, behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut. Revelation 3:8. But when I move suddenly, I do not require you to abandon wisdom. I do not require you to silence conviction. I do not require you to ignore counsel, trample obedience, or rush past the repeated warnings I have already placed before you. My suddenness is not confusion. My timing is not manipulation. My open door will not demand that you leave your discernment outside before you enter. A door being available does not mean it is assigned. A door may be accessible because someone offered it, because circumstances allowed it, because your emotions desired it, because your loneliness reached for it, because your pride wanted to prove something, because your fear of missing out whispered that this may never come again. But a holy door carries my witness. A God-given door may stretch you, but it will not require you to betray your conscience. It may challenge your comfort, but it will not ask you to ignore the voice of the Holy Spirit. It may require courage, but it will not be built upon compromise, secrecy, confusion, or inner unrest that keeps returning, no matter how often you try to explain it away. My beloved, there is a difference between faith and force. Faith follows me even when the path is unfamiliar. Force pushes forward because it cannot tolerate waiting. Faith may tremble, but it listens. Force becomes defensive when questioned. Faith welcomes light. Force hides from examination. Faith can pause and still trust that I am able to provide. Force believes that if this moment passes, I will have nothing left for you. Do you recognize the lie hidden there? The lie says, if you do not take this relationship now, you will be alone forever. If you do not accept this agreement now, your provision will disappear. If you do not answer in anger now, you will lose control. If you do not move for validation now, no one will notice you. If you do not return to that habit now, you will not survive the discomfort. But I am your provider. I am your keeper. I am the one who holds your days. No opportunity is more faithful than I am. This is why you must be careful with pressure. Pressure can make the wrong step feel necessary. Pressure can dress disobedience in the language of breakthrough. Pressure can make you call compromise strategy, make you call emotional attachment, love, make you call impatience, faith, make you call a return to bondage, comfort. You were not delivered so you could walk back into what once held you captive simply because the door reopened. You were not healed so you could give your peace to someone who repeatedly unsettles your spirit. You were not called so you could choose a direction only because it makes you feel seen for a moment. As it is written, test the spirits to see whether they are from God. 1 John 4:1. Test the voice, test the timing, test the fruit, test what the door requires from your soul. The enemy often uses speed to prevent examination. He urges you to hurry before you pray, hurry before you ask, hurry before you remember what I already told you, hurry before wise counsel can speak, hurry before the hidden motive comes into the light. Haste keeps the surface moving so the heart cannot discern what is beneath it. But I use stillness to reveal what haste is trying to hide. In stillness, motives rise. In stillness, false peace fades. In stillness, the flattering voice loses its power. In stillness, you begin to see whether this is obedience or appetite, whether this is assignment or escape, whether this is love or loneliness, whether this is courage or fear, wearing a stronger face. Pause before the door. Do not worship access. Do not call every opening a command. If you must betray peace to enter, wait. If you must silence conviction to agree, wait. If repeated warnings have met you on the way, wait. For I am not trying to keep you from your future. I am keeping your future from being carried into the wrong hands. As it is written, the steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way. Psalm 37, 23. Let me establish your steps. Let me slow what pressure is trying to rush. Let me show you whether this door is merely open or whether it is truly mine. And when I close a door, my child, do not be so quick to call it rejection. Do not be so quick to say I have forgotten you, or that heaven has become silent toward you, or that what was blocked must surely be the enemy fighting your destiny. There are moments when a door shuts because I have placed my hand upon it. There are moments when the conversation you wanted to have is delayed because I am preventing words from being spoken in the wrong spirit. There are moments when access is removed, when communication is interrupted, when plans suddenly change, when what seems certain becomes unavailable, and though it feels like loss to you, it is mercy moving ahead of your understanding. Do you see? I see the end from the beginning. I see what is hidden beneath what appears attractive. I see the motive behind the invitation, the consequence behind the agreement, the attachment beneath the emotion, the cost beneath the promise, the pain waiting farther down the road if you continue without listening. You see the immediate disappointment. I see the future entanglement. You see the door that closed. I see the trap that would have formed after you entered. You see the delay that frustrates you. I see the timing that would have exposed you to what your heart was not prepared to carry. As it is written, I make known the end from the beginning. Isaiah 46:10. Nothing is hidden from me. No motive is disguised before me. No outcome is unknown to me. I do not restrain you because I am against you. I restrain you because I am guarding what you cannot yet see. My beloved, there are protections that feel painful because they touch what you wanted. There are rescues that feel severe because they interrupt what your emotions had already accepted. There are mercies that do not appear gentle on the surface, because they must reach you before you drift too far. When I block what you kept trying to force open, I am not always denying your future. Sometimes I am preserving it. Sometimes I am stopping you from carrying your calling into a place that would drain it. Sometimes I am keeping your tenderness from being mishandled, your obedience from being compromised, your peace from being traded, your identity from being tied to something that cannot sustain the weight of who I have called you to be. Look at Jonah. He rose to flee from my instruction, and a storm arose on the sea. That storm was not random destruction. It was not meaningless chaos. It was a severe mercy. It was a holy interruption. It was not sent to erase him, but to stop him from running farther from the word I had spoken over his life. The waves were loud, the ship was shaken, the journey was broken, and to human eyes it may have looked like disaster. But I was pursuing a prophet who was moving away from obedience. I was closing the path of escape so that I could restore the path of assignment. Do you see? The storm did not mean I had abandoned Jonah. The storm meant I had not let him go. So when your plans are shaken, when the route closes, when the answer is delayed, when the person withdraws, when the opportunity disappears, when the peace leaves what once excited you, do not immediately call every interruption warfare. Ask me whether it is rescue. Ask me whether my hand is blocking the way. Ask me whether the door closed because I saw what would have happened if you entered with a divided heart, with unhealed longing, with pressure guiding your decision, with desire speaking louder than discernment. Some things you are rebuking were sent to protect you. Some things you are fighting against are the very boundaries I placed around your future. Some delays are not denial. Some losses are not defeat. Some closed doors are not punishment, but preservation. As it is written, the Lord disciplines those he loves, as a father, the son, in whom he delights. Proverbs 3:12. Discipline is not hatred. Correction is not abandonment. Restraint is not rejection. When a loving father sees a child reaching toward fire, he does not pause to explain every danger before he pulls the hand back. The child may cry because the desire was interrupted, but the father knows the wound that was prevented. In the same way, there are times when I must pull you back before you understand why. There are times when I must close what you wanted before you can see what it would have cost. There are times when I must allow disappointment now to prevent devastation later. My child, stop measuring my goodness only by what remains open. Learn to recognize my love in what I do not allow. Learn to bless me for the access that ended, the message that was never answered, the agreement that fell apart, the invitation that did not continue, the plan that could not move forward, the door that would not open no matter how hard you pushed. One day you will see more clearly. One day you will understand why your spirit had no rest there. One day you will thank me for the thing that wounded your preference but protected your purpose. For I am not careless with your life. I am not indifferent to your tears. I know restraint can feel like loss in the moment. I know the closed door can ache. But if you will trust me here, if you will stop fighting the boundary long enough to hear my heart, you will discover that my no is not empty. My no is guarding a better yes. My delay is holding you until the appointed time. My interruption is keeping you from a road that would have taken more from you than it promised to give. Pause. Release the handle. Stop knocking on what I have shut. Let me guard what you cannot yet see, and let my peace become the proof that even in restraint, I am still leading you. My child, the wrong step often begins long before your feet move. It begins in the quiet place where you start making room for what I have already warned you about. It begins when you excuse what once convicted you, when you delay the obedience I have been asking of you, when you feed an emotional hunger instead of bringing it to me, when bitterness becomes familiar, when pride begins to defend what humility would surrender, when secrecy feels easier than truth, when your spirit becomes numb not all at once, but little by little. Before the wrong step happens outwardly, it is often rehearsed inwardly through tolerated compromise. Do you see? A fall rarely arrives without preparation. Drift is often gentle before it becomes dangerous. Delay wraps itself in softness. It does not always shout rebellion. It whispers, later. It whispers, just this once. It whispers, you deserve this. It whispers, God will understand. It whispers, you have waited long enough. It whispers, no one will know. And because the whisper is small, you think the danger is small. But small compromises, when welcomed repeatedly, begin to weaken discernment. They make darkness feel less dark. They make warning feel less urgent. They make what once grieved your spirit seem manageable, explainable, even harmless. My beloved, I am not saying this to shame you. I am saying it to awaken you. There are hidden places within the heart where decisions begin forming before they become visible to anyone else. There are conversations you rehearse in secret, desires you keep entertaining, resentments you keep protecting, fantasies you keep feeding, comparisons you keep returning to, excuses you keep polishing until they sound like wisdom. And I see them, not because I am searching for a reason to condemn you, but because I love you enough to heal what is forming beneath the surface before it grows roots. Ask yourself in the light of my presence, is this still nourishing your soul? Does this person draw you toward light, or do they make disobedience easier to justify? Does this habit leave you clearer, cleaner, steadier, or does it leave you restless and hidden? Are you hiding this because it is private or because it is not clean? Are you waiting because I told you to wait, or because delayed obedience has become a comfortable place to avoid surrender? Do you recognize how often the heart tries to rename compromise so it does not have to repent? As it is written, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Hebrews 3:15. Today, my child, not after the damage is obvious, not after the wrong step becomes a wrong season, not after peace has grown distant and conviction has become faint. Today is mercy. Today is the moment when light is still reaching you gently. Today is the open place where you can turn before the path becomes harder to leave. Do not be afraid of my light. My light does not expose you to humiliate you. My light exposes in order to heal. Darkness allows hidden things to grow quietly, but truth interrupts what would have multiplied in secret. When I bring something to your attention, when I disturb your comfort, when I make you unable to enjoy what once entertained you, when I cause your spirit to feel the weight of what your mind keeps excusing, that is not cruelty. That is mercy reaching into the hidden room before the hidden thing begins to rule you. So come honestly. Do not decorate what needs to be surrendered. Do not defend what is draining your peace. Pray as it is written, search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Psalm 139, 23-24. Let those words become more than a verse. Let them become your surrender. Let me search the motive, the appetite, the attachment, the wound, the fear, the pride, the loneliness, the place where you have been saying yes in secret while still asking me to bless you in public. Pause here. Let the compromise lose its hiding place. Let the excuse fall. Let the delayed obedience become present obedience. I am not calling you back because I despise you. I am calling you back because your soul is too precious to be trained by darkness, and your future is too important to be shaped by something you were meant to overcome. My beloved, hear me gently after the searching of your heart. You are not lost. You are not rejected. You are not too far gone. You are not standing outside of my reach because you recognized compromise in yourself. The very fact that you can still feel conviction is evidence that I am still calling, still speaking, still reaching, still awakening what belongs to me. A heart that is being awakened may tremble, but trembling is not the same as being abandoned. A soul that feels the weight of correction may weep, but weeping beneath my light is not destruction. It is the beginning of return. I am not stopping you because I despise you. I am stopping you because you are mine. You are my child. You are my beloved. You are known, chosen, called, and held, even when your emotions have pulled you toward places that cannot carry the weight of your calling. Before you made the mistake, I knew you. Before the desire became loud, I knew you. Before the pressure surrounded you, before the wrong door looked attractive, before the compromise began to ask for permission, I knew the name I placed upon you. As it is written, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. Your identity did not begin with your struggle, and it will not be defined by the direction I am calling you to leave. Do you see? The question before you is not only, what should I do? It is also, who am I becoming if I keep walking this way? Who are you becoming if peace must keep being ignored? Who are you becoming if your conscience must keep being silenced? Who are you becoming if every step forward requires another small surrender of truth, another hidden agreement with fear, another private negotiation with what I already told you to release? A path does not only take you somewhere, It forms you while you walk it. It trains your appetite. It shapes your speech. It teaches your heart what to tolerate. It tells your soul what kind of person you are willing to become. My child, I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. One surrendered step back toward me is more precious than 1,000 hurried steps driven by pressure. One honest return is more beautiful than a long performance that looks strong while the heart is drifting. Do not think I am impressed by movement that leaves you farther from peace. Do not think I require you to prove yourself by running where I have not sent you. Obedience may seem slower to the world, but obedience keeps you whole. Obedience guards your name, your calling, your tenderness, your future, your ability to hear me clearly. The world may ask how fast you are moving. I am asking whether you are still moving with me. There is a freedom your emotions cannot give you. True freedom is not doing whatever fear demands. It is no longer being ruled by fear. True freedom is not answering every need for validation. It is no longer needing applause to know you are loved. True freedom is not feeding lust, anger, panic, pride, or pressure whenever they rise within you. It is standing before those voices and knowing they are not your master. Do you see? If an impulse can command you, it is not freedom. If anger can steer your mouth, if loneliness can choose your relationships, if panic can make your decisions, if validation can buy your obedience, then you are not walking in liberty. You are being led by what I came to break off of you. As it is written, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17. My freedom does not make you careless. My freedom makes you clean. It does not make you reckless. It makes you steady. It does not teach you to follow every feeling. It teaches you to live no longer chained to what once moved you without wisdom. This is why I interrupt the wrong direction. This is why I place restraint in your spirit. This is why I call you back before the road shapes you into someone you do not recognize. Your identity is too precious to be surrendered to a direction that cannot carry your calling. Remember the son who went to a far country. He wasted what was given, followed desire until desire left him empty, and finally came to himself among the ruins of what he thought would satisfy him. Yet when he returned, he was not received as a stranger. He was not welcomed as a servant only. The father ran. The father embraced. The father restored the robe, the ring, the place of sonship. Do you see? Returning was not humiliation. Returning was homecoming. Repentance did not erase his identity. It revealed where his identity had always belonged. So come back, my beloved, not as one who is unwanted, but as one who is still mine. Not as one whose calling has expired, but as one being redirected before the wrong step becomes a longer captivity. Let me turn your face toward your true direction again. Let me remind you who you are before the pressure renames you, before the desire reshapes you, before the wrong door trains you to forget your inheritance. You are chosen. You are held. You are called into light. Return, and you will find that I was not waiting to punish you. I was waiting to restore you. Now, my child, you may ask, how do I know whether I am being stopped by you, or whether I am only being held back by fear? This is a question I want you to bring into the light, not with panic, not with self-accusation, but with a humble and listening heart. For I do not want you to call fear wisdom, and I do not want you to call warning fear. I do not want you trapped by torment, but I also do not want you rushing past my protection simply because your desire does not like being interrupted. Do you see? Fear and holy restraint do not bear the same fruit. Fear torments. Fear confuses. Fear makes you hide, avoid, delay, accuse, control, and protect yourself as though I am not faithful. Fear says if you obey, you will lose everything. Fear says if you wait, you will be forgotten. Fear says if you tell the truth, you will not be loved. Fear pulls your eyes away from me and places them upon the wind, the waves, the opinions, the deadlines, the imagined future, the worst possible outcome. But my restraint, even when it is sober, brings a deeper peace beneath the discomfort. It may make you pause, but it does not make you frantic. It may correct you, but it does not condemn you. It may slow your step, but it brings humility, truth, patience, and alignment with my word. As it is written, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. A sound mind is not reckless. A sound mind is not ruled by panic. A sound mind can wait long enough to hear clearly. A sound mind can ask, does this step require disobedience? Does this door ask me to compromise what I know is right? Does this relationship pull me into secrecy? Does this agreement require me to hide, exaggerate, manipulate, or silence conviction? Does wise counsel confirm caution, or am I avoiding counsel because I already know what light may reveal? When I pray, does clarity increase, or does the warning deepen? When I look at the fruit, does it resemble love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, or does it look like striving, jealousy, lust, pride, confusion, anger, and fear? My beloved, test the fruit. Do not only test the feeling. A feeling can be loud and still be untrue. An opportunity can be exciting and still be misaligned. A fear can be strong and still be something you must confront. A warning can be quiet and still be something you must honor. The question is not merely, am I afraid? Sometimes you will be afraid even while obeying me. The question is, what is leading me? Is fear making me shrink back from obedience? Or is my spirit restraining me from disobedience? Is fear telling me not to trust God? Or is holy warning telling me not to trust this path? Remember Peter upon the water. He stepped out of the boat because I called him. That step was not foolishness. It was faith responding to my voice. But when he looked at the wind, when the storm became larger in his sight than the one who had called him, he began to sink. Do you see? Faith is not the absence of wind. Faith is keeping your eyes on me while the wind is present. There will be moments when I call you to move, and fear will try to hold you in the boat. There will also be moments when pressure calls you to move, and my spirit will tell you to remain still. In both moments, your safety is the same. Look at me. Listen for my voice. Do not be led by the wind, and do not be led by the crowd. Be led by the one who holds you. So pause before you act. Wait one more night before you answer an emotion. Pray before you reply to the message. Seek counsel before you sign what will bind you. Examine your motives before you leave what I have assigned. Ask whether urgency has become your master. If it cannot survive prayer, it is not strong enough to carry your future. If it must be hidden from wise counsel, it is not clean enough to receive your agreement. If it demands disobedience as the price of entry, it is not my door. My child, confront fear, but honor warning. Do not bow to torment, but do not despise the holy pause. I am not asking you to live afraid. I am teaching you to live awake. And when you cannot yet tell the difference, come closer, not farther. Bring me the desire, the dread, the deadline, the pressure, the longing, the open door, the closed door, the restless place within you. I will not mock your confusion. I will guide you. As it is written, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Psalm 32:8. You do not need to obey fear, my beloved, but you must not dismiss holy warning just because it interrupts what you wanted. Pause now, my child, listen. Lay it down before me before your emotions carry it any farther. Do not send it yet. Do not sign it yet. Do not go back yet. Do not answer from panic. Do not make a permanent decision from a temporary storm within you. Do not let pressure become the hand that pushes you into what peace has not confirmed. This is the moment where revelation must become response, where warning must become surrender, where the pause in your spirit must be honored before the step is taken outwardly. For the safest next step is not the one that feels most urgent, nor the one that appears most available, nor the one that silences your anxiety for a moment. The safest next step is the one surrendered to me before emotion, pressure, or opportunity takes control. Bring the decision into my presence by name. Do not speak of it vaguely. Do not hide it behind spiritual language while still trying to control the outcome. Say, Lord, here is the message I want to send. Here is the agreement I am about to make. Here is the person I want to return to. Here is the door I keep pushing open. Here is the plan I am afraid to release. Here is the desire that has become louder than my peace. Here is the deadline that is making me feel cornered. Here is the opportunity that looks good, but has left my spirit unsettled. My beloved, I am not asking you to pretend you do not want it. I am asking you to place what you want under the authority of my wisdom. Release the need to control how this turns out. Release the need to force an answer today if I have not given peace today. Release the fear that if you surrender it, you will lose everything. What belongs to you and my will does not have to be obtained through disobedience. What I have assigned will not require you to betray your conscience in order to receive it. Ask me for confirmation through my word, through peace that remains, through counsel that does not flatter your desire, through timing that does not require manipulation. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119, 105. A lamp does not always show the whole road, my child, but it gives enough light for the next faithful step. And yes, obedience may feel costly. I will not tell you that surrender will always feel easy to your emotions. Sometimes obedience separates you from what your heart had already attached itself to. Sometimes it requires you to close a conversation you kept reopening, to cancel a plan you already imagined, to step away from a relationship your loneliness wanted to keep, to delay an answer your pride wanted to give immediately, to admit that what looked like opportunity was really pressure dressed in attractive clothing. But hear me clearly, the cost of obedience is lighter than the weight of disobedience. The ache of surrender is cleaner than the grief of ignoring warning. A temporary loss under my hand is safer than a season built on a step I did not bless. Do you see? I am not demanding that you understand everything before you obey. I am calling you to give me the next step. One step, cancel what must be canceled. Apologize where truth requires humility. Wait where I have said wait. Leave what I have told you to leave. Return where I have been calling you to return. Be silent where your flesh wants to defend itself. Speak truth where fear has kept you hidden. Put the phone down. Close the document. Step away from the door. Ask for counsel. Open the scripture. Sit before me until the noise settles and the voice of peace becomes clear again. My child, do not despise the small act of obedience. One surrendered step can break the power of a wrong direction. One honest pause can interrupt a season of regret. One decision made in the fear of the Lord can preserve what years of striving could not restore. As it is written, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3, 5-6. Acknowledge me here, not after you have already chosen. Acknowledge me before the answer, before the signature, before the return, before the departure, before the yes, before the no. And if this word is touching the very decision in front of you, make your agreement with wisdom plain. Write these words as a declaration, not for performance, but as a witness before your own heart. I choose God's direction over my urgency. Let that sentence become a boundary. Let it remind you that urgency is not your shepherd, pressure is not your counselor, desire is not your Lord. I am your shepherd, and I lead you beside still waters. I restore your soul. I guide you in paths of righteousness for my name's sake. So stop, surrender. Let me redirect the step you were about to take. I am not trying to take life from you. I am guarding the life I placed within you. I am not closing joy. I am closing what would have stolen it. I am not delaying peace. I am leading you back into it. Lay it down, my beloved. If it is from me, I know how to return it in the right time, in the right way, with the right peace. And if it is not from me, then let my hand remove it before it removes you from the place where your soul is safe. Now pray with me, my beloved, not from panic, but from surrender. Father, in the name of Jesus, interrupt every step that is not aligned with your will. Interrupt every decision that has been formed in pressure, fear, loneliness, pride, impatience, confusion, or desire without peace. Place your hand upon the door before it becomes a pathway. Place your light upon the choice before it becomes a season. Expose what is hidden, not to shame your child, but to protect what you have planted within them. Reveal the danger behind what appears attractive. Reveal the cost behind what appears convenient. Reveal the spirit behind every invitation, every agreement, every attachment, every voice, every opportunity that is calling them forward without the witness of your peace. Lord, quiet the panic that has been pushing them. Quiet the urgency that has been speaking louder than wisdom. Quiet the fear that says they will miss everything if they do not move now. Restore their ability to recognize your voice again. Let them know the difference between fear that torments and warning that protects. Let them know the difference between a door you have opened and a door pressure has pushed in front of them. As it is written, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10, 27. Let your child hear you clearly, not through striving, not through confusion, not through the noise of others, but through the settled peace of your spirit. I pray over every relationship in front of them. If it is not from you, loosen the attachment before it becomes a chain. If it is drawing them away from truth, expose it. If it is feeding secrecy, compromise, confusion, or emotional dependency, bring light into it now. I pray over contracts, agreements, signatures, business decisions, financial choices, purchases, investments, moves, relocations, plans, messages, replies, conversations, and doors that look urgent but lack divine peace. Let no deadline become their master. Let no opportunity become an idol. Let no emotional reaction become a doorway to regret. Let no habit that has been tolerated in secret grow strong enough to govern their future. My child, I declare over you that no counterfeit door will carry you away from your assignment. No pressured decision will steal your peace. No hidden trap will shape your destiny. No emotional attachment will be stronger than the voice of the Lord within you. No fear of disappointing people will make you betray what I have spoken. No desire for relief will make you choose a path that wounds your soul. I cover your future in my mercy. I guard your steps with my wisdom. I surround your mind with clarity. I place peace as a watchman at the gate of your decision. And where you have already stepped wrongly, do not sink into shame. I am still Redeemer. I can redirect what drifted. I can heal what was wounded. I can restore what was scattered. I can bring you back into light without allowing condemnation to define you. Return to me here. Give me the wrong step, the wrong agreement, the wrong attachment, the wrong season, the wrong word spoken in emotion, the wrong door opened in desperation. I am able to turn you, cleanse you, teach you, and lead you again. My final word over you is not panic. It is protection. It is redirection. It is peace. Now say this with a surrendered heart. Lord, I will not move without your peace, and I will not call your protection rejection. I trust your hand when it opens, and I trust your hand when it closes. I trust your timing more than my urgency. I trust your wisdom more than my desire. Lead me in the way everlasting. Amen. If this prayer touched the decision in front of you, leave your prayer request in the comments so we can agree with you in faith. Share this video with someone who is facing a pressured decision and needs to pause before God. Subscribe for more God-centered messages and like this video as your agreement that God's protection is greater than urgency. Remain in peace, my beloved. Do not rush past the hand that is guarding you.